Hello there, Taurus. My name's Frankie. I'm a clairvoyant, clairaudient medium, and an empath. This reading's for Taurus for November of 2019. We only have 2 more months left in the year. Happy Thanksgiving to everybody that celebrates it. And for all of you that are new, I pull 4 cards for the month, and we'll use the bottom card on the deck for an overall view of the month. Pull an angel card at the end of the reading, hopefully bring everything together for us. Now, I am an empath, so I have a speech pattern. I speak as if I'm you, and so I guess all Taurus get named Frankie for the time of the reading. Look at your moon sign and rising sign, get a more comprehensive view of the month, and I don't think the cards will go week by week. I think they're going to blend in and out throughout the month, kind of like an overall view of the month. Now, I have a short message for us, and it's a little bit crazy. And what I'm seeing is us with a blanket over top of our head. And they're saying, heads up, Taurus. Just like that. Heads up. Pay attention. If my gut tells me something is not right, it is not. So pay attention, whether this is new people coming into my life or maybe people from the past coming towards me, and wanting to restart a friendship or that kind of stuff. Remember to protect myself. And if it's someone from the past, look at the situation and think, why did I dissolve it? Like a friendship originally. But they're saying self-protection. Do not let myself up, like stand up there to be betrayed, lied to, or deceived in any manner. And that's quite an interesting thing to say because we have excellent words. You know, um, One of these cards could show that, but not necessarily. I think maybe it's something weird, astrological going on for us, but it's like protect myself. New people, new situations. Make sure nobody's putting that blanket over my head, so I know what's going on. Know what's going on, and if my gut says it's untrue, it's untrue. End of the story. We have good words. They're healing, flexibility, beauty, expansiveness, and abundance. And we have a couple cards here actually showing that we could have abundance. Actually, 2 cards here go together. That's excellent. Look at what we got. Aries just got this. And I put them in different spots in the deck and shuffle them all up and everything. We got the Ace of Swords here. Ace of Swords is triumph over any difficulties by using your mind, your mental capacity. It's like a major big breakthrough in our lives, a new lifestyle coming into being, and we would have achieved the opportunity to have that fresh start or that new beginning because we used our brain. We used our brain, we thought about things, we used our intuition, just like that original message, And I always think of this as the double-edged sword, One of those sometimes it cuts both ways. So the sword of truth, we would be taking our like mental faculties up to a way higher level than they ever were before. So we would have prosperity from this card, new developments, spiritual growth also comes from the Ace of Swords. We would be taking a new direction in our life. There could be a birth with this card for those of us Tauruses that are perhaps trying to get pregnant. There could be a birth of a child, birth of ideas, uh, birth of new enterprise, new jobs. Um, we'd be in when we get this particular ace. We are in a position of power with the possibility of manifesting our lives in maybe like with a new philosophy or in a totally new and different way. Now, I call this card the Sword of Truth. And with that original message, I would think about that because there's our word down here, healing, and the Sword of Truth, I think, is going to be very important. Actually, it could be even more important than what I'm even thinking, because right under here is the Ten of Swords. And I don't like that card very much, laying on the ground all bloody and yucky and no, 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 been betrayed. So think about it with that original message. Just, like they're saying, heads up, protect ourselves. First and foremost, we can't protect anybody else if we're not protecting ourselves and using our gut instincts. And, this word beauty in here, just because it looks good, doesn't necessarily mean it is good. Because look at our next card here, which cracks me up. Actually, we have 2 7s in here, but this is the Seven of Cups, and this is kind of a nutty card. It's a card about fantasy, building castles in the air, too many options being available. Goes right with our word expansiveness. It means we be looking at a whole bunch of different kinds of possibilities now, but there's so many, it would be hard to make a choice. So we're the kid in the candy store and we got 1 dime and everything in the store costs 1 dime and we want 10 things at a penny. It's like, we're like, oh God, how much candy can I get for my little dime? I realize that doesn't happen anymore. I think gumballs out of a machine probably cost a quarter or whatever. But with all these different choices, we would have a hard time trying to sit and decide what one we wanted to manifest into reality. So when I get this card, I always think, sit down, take a break, sit back, take a deep breath, right? Take a deep breath. There's all these wonderful things. Maybe I want to move to a new house up here. Maybe I want to be a different person with that one with the mask on it. Maybe I want to celebrate. Maybe this one with all the fruit in it is abundance and wealth. That's what I want. Maybe be a entirely different person. This one down here has a snake. Maybe I want to transform something in my life. Yep, that is a snake. I thought it was, but that could be transformation. So with that kind of energy, I want to sit, give myself space, our word of expansiveness, and think about what it is I want to manifest, right? 1 or 2, and keep my focus and how they're saying it is, keep my focus and my intention only on the few things or 2 things, right, that come up and above in my mind, above everything else, okay? Above it all, what am I going to manifest? What's important to me right now? It's cup energy, so cup energy is emotional. So I try to perhaps sit and think and maybe take my emotions out of the equation because of that original message. Take my emotions out of it. Think a little bit like that, you know, Ace of Swords energy, like the Sword of Truth. More factual, and then think along those lines, like with that in mind is what I'm hearing. With that in mind, what is it that I really, really would like to see in my life? And then we go for it from there and we take right action and expand and grow from there with this new ideas in our head, because our next card is the Page of Pentacles, and that's excellent because here we are, we're in our own reading. Sorry about that. I forgot to move the telephone, and it's going to be ringing, and I never expected it. But here we are, Taurus, Capricorn, Virgo energy, Earth energy, male or female. This could be someone else outside of us that has the qualities of air, but look at his face. He's so focused on one thing, just that pentacle. So focus that pentacle energy into our 7 cups here, right? And pick the one that's going to cause me more abundance, more happiness. The 1 or 2 out of it, they'll cause me more abundance, more happiness, and then go for it with this Page of Pentacles, because the Page of Pentacles is the card of the scholar, because his nose is in the book, paying attention, right, to what's going to better advance him to the point where he runs into the wall and knocks himself out, because he's oblivious to everything else going on that's around him. Now, the Page of Pentacles is a money card too, so usually a little bit less mature in the abundance, like our word down here, factor, but it is money. It does mean it's a messenger page that carries a message regarding like getting money or some type of material goods on the earth plane, right? It's good news. He always bears good news, and it suggests somebody who's, if it's or us, intelligent, refined, um, sensitive, and appreciates the good life, like our word beauty here. And we Tauruses love beautiful things around us. And this page is very, very ambitious, very goal oriented, like single focused. And that energy is needed because we have that 7 of Cups, and we're getting ready to start on a fresh new beginning. And if it's not a person, male or female, or us in the reading, or if it is us actually, it would mean that we, our own like worldly ambitions, like the things that we want, would be a message concerning them that was a good message coming. So whatever it is that we were working on, it would be a good message, a message that is valuable to us, right? And important to us to fulfill our abundance and that healing too. Because the page can be maybe we're focused, this page could be maybe we're focused on something important, let's say, in our health that we want to have happen or change or something like that. But these 2 cards together, that's what I wanted to tell you. 7 of Cups and the Page of Pentacles together means that I can be successful, right? By focusing and taking the steps on the things that I want to have happen, like in a responsible manner, and taking those steps. And because he brings a message of good to us, or he or she, I have to say that because these are general readings, but they bring us a message of good that's valuable to us and valuable to our abundance, our healing down here, and expanding or growing or changing, like our Ace of Swords, maybe, because our next card here, we got 2 sevens in this reading, and this is courage and determination, like the courage under fire. It's when we stand up, when we're willing to fight for what we believe in, and stand our ground no matter what comes against us. He has one rod, right? And there's 6 of them, but he's on the top of the hill and he's holding them off. So with this card, we could have like been sitting on our duffs, maybe not paying attention to our gut instinct from that original message, but or actually falling into complacency is how it actually goes. But now our the blankets off our heads are up, and we are active, and we're going to defend. So it's a card of that means profit and gain went after some like determinedly holding off the competition, determinedly holding off the enemy, but the determination alone is what wins the day. That's why I love this card. So we find when we get this card, we find we have these like hidden talents, hidden resources, let's say, that we just didn't even suspect or didn't even hardly know that we had down all the way down inside of us. Always thinking of him as a survival type energy, but when we wouldn't even know we had them, but we put them into play like to or to good use to overcome any kind of obstacles in our life, and then we'd have the advantage over everything, and we would succeed like this Page of Pentacles by our sheer force of will and our personality to get whatever it is we want that's going to is healing and abundant, expansive, beautiful. Do we want a new job? Rod's energy sometimes will mean business finance a lot of time. It's that type of energy for business and finance stuff. What is it that I want to manifest? Because we have that Ace of Swords down here. What is it that I want to bring forward? For some of us, it's going to be flat out like the energy of abundance, right, in my life. Flat out that with the Page of Pentacles together. What is it I'm fighting for? That I'm so very strong in my stance on it with that Ace of Swords energy in there too. Strong on my stance. What's my gut tell me? Okay? There's, if there's something fishy, or if it smells like a fish, it usually is. That's exactly the way I heard those words. Sorry, Taurus, that didn't come out quite right, but because of our next card. And that's the Two of Swords. And I don't like that for us because look at her. She's blindfolded. She has these swords crossed across her chest, and it's a situation where it appears. Listen to that word, appears. And that's all it is an appearance where it is impossible to move forward. So it's like a period of stasis. My feet are stuck in the mud. I can't go forwards. I can't go backwards. I'm holding everything around me in a state of balance and ignoring all of the underlying tension that would be going on. It would be really, really uncomfortable for us. Like, we don't like being in this position, but we wouldn't actually, it's uncomfortable, but we aren't yet ready to do anything about it, because there's a need here where you have to speak up, speak your mind, communicate about whatever's going on, whatever circumstance, situation is happening in my life. Maybe, and this is the like the only explanation I ever think of, like a couple that doesn't get along, yet they're going out to dinner with friends and they're laughing, talking, happy. They walk in, lock the door from dinner, and she goes in the bedroom, he goes and watches TV, and they don't ever speak till the next time they go out with friends. You know, like maybe it's a bad marriage, maybe it's a bad job situation, could be, you know, but we have that Ace of Swords here. It can cut to the chase. So the idea with this card, um, we're determined to pretend everything's okay, and the word for that is denial. So when we have the card eventually, right, we can't deny anything anymore. So change has to take place, or it must take place. Um, because it's just gets too unbearable. So choice is available with the card. Choice is always available to us. With this card, we have two swords in our hand. All we have to do is put our arms down and cut off that blindfold, and we'll be able to see very clearly what's happening that is not valuable to us in our lives no longer, and maybe start making choices, is how I'm hearing, making choices, because there's all these options on the table, making the choices that are, whoops, I'm losing my angel cards here, making the choice that's beneficial to me. What's going to be beneficial to me? What actually, do you remember that original message? Maybe go back and listen to it. What because it was about self-protection or whoa, I am losing angel cards everywhere. Self-protection or you know, me first, like the top priority, don't let anyone deceive us, that type of energy. So I think a lot of us this month, if we want healing, and we maybe want flexibility also, let's say, in our lives, taking that off, maybe we could speak our piece and find out if it's someone else involved. You know, are they willing to compromise before, before we end up defending ourselves every which way, because we will come up and above and beyond. Because once we make that choice and we cut to the chase, here we are, right in our, I am losing these angel cards everywhere. They're sliding right off of the book and onto the floor. We'll cut to the chase, get straight forward, and move forward into our abundance, our happiness, our, like this, fresh new starts, new beginning, what we want to be rewarded with, what our intention is in here. What are we standing up for? What are we defending, Take a time and pat ourselves on the back. We will make those choices. We will take off that blindfold. And we will reward ourselves after we take off that blindfold. We're going to get it. We're right in our own reading here. We're going to make those choices that expand our growth this month. It says you've been giving a lot of yourself lately, and it's time to receive. That's the one thing about we Tauruses, we never stop giving until you step past that line, then you're in really deep doo-doo with us. It says make the time to reward yourself in a meaningful way. This balance of giving and receiving is essential to keeping your energy, mood, and motivation at a consistently high level. And I think that's going to be really important to us this month, like super important at how it feels. Things are changing very rapidly, and we're so close, to the end of the year. It makes me think, whoops, I can't find our card here. makes me think whatever we are determined with these 2-7 energies here, whatever we are determined to have, we are going to have this month. And if there's no compromise, I think we will make decisions or choices that are self-preservation for us, which is not normal because we're givers. That's why I think they're having me say it that way. You drew this card because it's time to reward yourself for all your hard work. Everyone needs rewards and you are no exception. A treat will boost your energy, mood, and your motivation. Invest in yourself. Make time for self-care. Give yourself a much desired item, trip, or service, and notice how your inner child blooms with joy from the loving attention. Take the day off from work today and splurge on a treat for yourself. Balance giving with receiving. That's really serious now, a serious energy, especially with that original message. Make sure that you're allowing yourself to receive and appreciate all that you've done, Taurus, for others. Let's put it that way. Well, Taurus, that's our reading for this month, and I want to tell y'all thank you for your likes, shares, subscribes, and for your comments. I read each and every one of them, and I really appreciate them. If anybody wants to know more about me or just go neb about me, all the information's down below the screen at the website, or if you need to set an appointment with me, all the information to do that is over at the website. There's 2 short videos over there. One explains a prayer class, the other explains a sutra classes I put out there for you. A prayer class is very comprehensive. It explains how to format prayers, why you do them that way. It's 2.5 hours long. Sutras are just simple thought forms. You put in a meditation that takes 5 minutes a day, and it enhances clear perceptions. The videos explaining them are over at the website. So to all of you I've met through 3 whole years of doing YouTubes, and everybody I've met through 31 years of doing this work, I want to tell y'all it's been an honor, a privilege, and a pleasure to be able to serve you. And hopefully I'll see you back here next month. Bye-bye.